Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the news broadcasted on TayNinhTV with some last events now private as well as nationwide, and now we come into details. Ladies and gentlemen, recently the Standing Committee of the People's Council of TayNinh Province issued a resolution assigning the task to the standing vice chairwoman of the People's Council of the province and Ms. Nguyễn Đại Thi during the time when the position of chairman of the People's Council of the province has not been fully filled. According to the resolution, Ms. Nguyễn Đại Thi, member of Standing Committee of Provincial Party Committee, standing vice chairwoman of the People's Council of the TayNinh Province, will direct the activities of the People's Council and the Standing Committee of the People's Council of the 10 terms, tenure of 2021 to 2026, until the People's Council elects the chairman of the People's Council of the TayNinh Province. After Mr. Nguyễn Thành Tâm, Secretary Provincial Party Committee, chairman of the People's Council of the TayNinh Province, was mobilized, assigned and appointed to the position as deputy head of the Central Organizing Committee of the party. The Standing Committee of the People's Council of the province quickly stabilized the aspect of work, organized the regular meeting on March 11th. And currently, the Standing Committee of the People's Council of the province is also focusing on preparing for the 18 sections scheduled to take place at the end of this month. And on the morning of March 15th, the TayNinh Provincial Architects Association held the 5th conference for the term of 2025 to 2030. Attending the conference, there were Dr. Architect Phan Đặng Sơn, Chairman of the Vietnam Architects Association. Mr. Nguyễn Hồng Thanh, Acting Chairman of Provincial People's Committee, attended the event also.
In the term of 2020-2025, TayNinh Provincial Architects Association has performed its professional functions and tasks well and achieved some outstanding results. Regarding the housing development program of the province, the association has achieved a number of targets such as the total construction floor area increased by about more than 4 million square meters. The average housing area reached about 29 square meters of floor per person. The rate of solid and semi-solid housing reached over 94%. Over 6,700 social housing units have been implemented. The Congress elected the Secretary Committee of the TayNinh Provincial Association of Architects for the 2025-2030 term, consisting of 13 members, and Dr. Architect Trịnh Ngọc Phương was elected as the association's president. On this occasion, the TayNinh Provincial Association of Architects received a certificate of merit from the Vietnam Association of Architects and an emulation flag from the Provincial People's Committee.
At the conference, the Secretary of the City Party Committee, Lê Minh Thế, disseminated the core contents of the Central Committee's directive conclusion related to the arrangement and streamlining of the organizational apparatus. And today, the city has completed the merger of the Propaganda Department and the Mass Mobilization Department into the City Party Committee's Propaganda and Mass Mobilization Department, and did the activities of the City House Care and Protection Department, the City Judicial Reform Steering Committee, and the Steering Committee for Building Party and Mass Organizations in the private economic units in the area, reorganized 8 specialized departments to equivalent agencies and reduced 1 specialized agency. At the same time, some grassroots party cells are arranged and rearranged to suit the reorganization of agencies and units in the political system.
On the morning of March 14, Mr. Nguyễn Văn Ếch, Vice Chairman of Trang Bang Thao People's Council, led the delegation to survey the stage management of licensing of construction materials business households in An Hoa World from 2023 to 2024. An Hoa World currently has 710 households registered for business in many industries, of which 9 households registered for construction materials business. In recent times, the World People's Committee has performed well the stage management of licensing of construction materials business households, promoted the dissemination of laws on the rights and obligations of business households, closely monitored the operation situation, and fulfilled tax obligations of households. In general, households registered for construction materials business comply with regulations on technique and equipment, ensure environmental sanitation, maintain clean and beautiful surrounding landscapes, and do not affect people's life.
And exactly 50 years ago, on March 15 of 1975, Bến Cầu district was the earliest locality to be liberated in Tây Ninh province. And 50 years after liberation, the party committee, the army, and the people of the district have promoted the heroic tradition, self-reliance, diligence, creativity, focused on the socio-economic development, and improve the people's lives and build the homeland of Bến Cầu to develop more and more.
50 years have passed, but Miss Phạm Thị Mai, or other name as Nam Mai, former deputy district commander of Bến Cầu district. Although she is 80 years old now, she still remembers clearly the days of fighting revolutionary spirit to liberate Bến Cầu district. Fighting simultaneously from Long Khánh, Long Giang, chợ Cầu, Tiên Thuận, Rừng Dâu to Mộc Bài, An Thạnh, and fighting simultaneously. But when it was finished, Long Khánh, Long Giang, Tiên Thuận, Lệ Thuận, An Thạnh, Mộc Bài were also completely liberated, but Bảo An station was also still left, so that at the time the main force was still besieging and attacking, and at this time the local troops divided and closely surrounded to catch the retreating remnants of the army. By March 14 of 1975, we have removed on the enemy's force, and on the morning of March 15 of 1975, Bến Cầu district was completely liberated. After the liberation, of the consequences of the war on Bến Cầu district were enormous, but promoting the heroic tradition, the party committee, the army, and the people of Bến Cầu overcame the difficulties and losses of the war, gradually restored and developed the social economy, and achieved the great achievements of historical significance in all fields. The starting point of Bến Cầu district was very low, and in that context, the party committee, the army, and the people of Bến Cầu have made the right efforts, promoted the heroic tradition of the homeland, self-reliance to quickly halt the wounds of war, restore social economic development, carry out the work of building a strong party and political system, as well as ensure national defense and security, and carry out foreign affairs, maintain a peaceful and friendly border with neighboring localities of Cambodia. And the district's socio-economic situation has been constantly developing. 8 over 8 communes have met the new site rural standards, of which 3 communes have met the advanced new rural standards. Bến Cầu town has met the civilized urban standards, and the district has completed the application for recognition as a new rural district in 2004. At the same time, Bến Cầu district always pays special attention and prioritizes in investing resources to take care of the healthcare development, education, training, and implement social security policies. The youth union members of Bến Cầu district have actively participated in volunteer movements, contributing to the social security work and social economic development of the country also. Activities such as building new rural areas, protecting the environment, donating the blood, supporting the poor have been widely implemented, demonstrating the creative spirit of youth contributing to the local economic development. The achievements of Bến Cầu over the past 50 years have gradually affirmed the position of the district in the general development of the province. A new look bringing new vitality, inspiration in this heroic land. The party committees, the authorities, and the people of Bến Cầu district continue to join hands and unite to build the district into a new rural district, a country that is politically stable, economically rich, strong in national defense and security, increasingly developing modern civilization, confidently entering a new era, an era of national growth. And on March 14, the Bến Cầu District Fund for the Poor Mobilization Committee held a ceremony to hand over solidarity houses and residential houses to the poor household and policy families. Attending the event, there was Mr. Nguyễn Văn Vi, Vice Chairman of the Province of Vietnam Philanthropic Front Committee. After 1 month of construction up to now, 15 houses, including 13 solidarity houses and 2 residential houses, have been completed and handed over to the poor household and policy families in the town and some communes of Bến Cầu district. Its house has an area of 32 square meters or more and worth from 90 million to 120 million Vietnam dong. The total cost of building 15 houses is nearly 1.5 billion Vietnam dong, of which the Resource Fund for the Poor support for 694 million Vietnam dong. The remaining amount is provided by the For the Poor Fund, repaying residential fund in the locality, and the support of benefactors and additional contributions from the families. In addition, its solidarity house is sponsored by Fico Cement Joint Stock Company with 100 bags of cement.
After more than 5 years of implementing Resolution Number 2 dated April 12, 2019 of the Provincial Business Council on the policy of supporting linkage in production and consumption of agricultural produce in the province in the period of 2019-2025, the whole province has had 13 projects supporting with a total budget of more than 35 billion Vietnam dong, including 5 rice growing linkage projects. Tây Ninh province is one of the localities with a large rice growing area in the southwest, with a total annual planting area of about 150,000 hectares. However, in the past, the value of the rice industry was not commensurate with its potential. In order to improve the competitiveness of the rice industry, the province has focused on implementing a production and consumption linkage chain, in which many enterprises participate in the production linkage chain, bringing significant benefits to farmers. Typically, the Lúa Vàng Việt Production Trading Joint Stock Company is currently linking to produce high-quality rice with more than 700 farming households in localities, including Trang Mân Thao, Gò Dầu, Bến Cầu, and Châu Thành. Through the project, farmers participating in the linkage have consumption contracts, stabilize prices, and reduce sales risk. At the same time, expand the rice production area, applying high-tech agricultural models, meeting VGF standards.
The transfer of vocational education from Ministry of Labor, Welfare and Social Affairs to the Ministry of Education and Training is considered not only to unify the national education system, but also to create the conditions for vocational education to have better access to synchronous policies from management infrastructure to human resource development.
This information has been welcomed by many vocational education institutions and is expected to create positive changes in enrollment work this year. With this year fund field management under Ministry of Education and Training, enrollment work has changed with the enrollment work and information system reaching the student being more synchronized. Previously, there was only university education sector, but now both the university education and vocational education sectors have been deployed so that the learners can access information synchronously to make better choices. The merger is convenient for the coordination between the high school, junior high schools with university and colleges for convey the stream. During this time, under affected by the merger, the Department of Vocational Education and Continuing Education still directs and guides the schools on enrollment plans, linking enrollment with the recruitment into one source. We have reported to the Ministry of Education and Training to ensure that the students have the opportunity to choose university, college, and junior college on the Ministry of Education and Training's One Admission portal, and it is a good opportunity for the students and schools to be in harmony and transparent, creating the equal opportunities to choose to study. The transfer of the state management to the Ministry of Education and Training needs to be viewed in the overall context. The policy of streamlining the apparatus and administrative reform of the part in the government is not only aimed at reducing management units, but also aims at building a unified, interconnected, and standardized education system. 100% of hospitals nationwide must deploy electronic medical records is one of the requirements of the Prime Minister in Directive Number 7 on promoting the implementation of the project on developing applications of population data, identification and electronic authentication to serve national digital transformations in the period of 2022 to 2025 with a vision to 2030. Accordingly, the Prime Minister assigned the Ministry of Health to preside over and coordinate with the Ministry of Public Security and relevant units to pilot the medical data coordination system at Bạch Mai Hospital with medical facilities in Bắc Ninh and Thái Nguyên provinces, Chợ Rẫy Hospital with the medical facilities in Bình Dương and An Giang provinces. The Ministry of Health directed us 100% of hospitals nationwide to deploy electronic medical records, connecting data between the local, district, and provincial hospitals with the hospital under Ministry of Health, taking advantage of connected data to reduce testing for the people to be completed in September of 2025.
On the morning of March 15, the Fraud Prevention and Fighting Police Department of Tay Ninh Province, in coordination with Tay Ninh City Youth Union, organized a program to propagate and experience fire fighting, rescue, and first aid from more than 350 primary and secondary school students in the city. At the program, students participated in practical activities such as handling fire and explosion situations, escape skills, introducing and practicing the use of portable fire extinguishers, practicing escape from high places, practicing water spraying, and experiencing evacuation in a smoky environment. The program contributes to improving knowledge and skills of fire prevention and fighting for students in Tay Ninh City.
The official visit to Singapore by the General Secretary To Lam and his wife, along with the high-ranking Vietnamese delegation, was a great success. The operating of the relationship between the two countries is strategic and bringing the Vietnam-Singapore relationship to a comprehensive level in all areas.
The operating of the relationship between the two countries is strategic, bringing the Vietnam-Singapore relationship to a comprehensive level in all areas. Professor B.V.R. Singh, Deputy Head of the Department of Political Science, National University of Singapore, emphasized that the operating of the relationship between the two countries is strategic. The Vietnam-Singapore relationship has become comprehensive. Professor Bouvier pointed out that the strategic nature is reflected in taking into account the impact and added value of the operating of the relationship for the region and the world also. I think the Vietnam-Singapore relationship is important bilaterally and more importantly, it forms a building block in the region. Although the two countries have some differences, there are many things in common that can be exchanged, shared experiences, and learned from each other. In political science and economics, that means complementarily and comparative advantages. Professor Bouvier said that the General Secretary To Lam visit to Singapore shows that the government-to-government relations have been closer, but the people-to-people diplomacy still has a long way to go. If you ask a Singaporean about Hanoi, about Da Nang, about the history of Vietnam, not many people know about those things, and maybe they know a little about Vietnamese cuisine, about a low-cost tourist destination. That's it. And we have to find a way to make the relationship between the people of the two countries even closer. The Singaporean professor believes that narrowing the gap in community communication skills through a common language is very important to continue effectively promoting the Vietnam-Singapore comprehensive strategic partnership.
And that's all for today, TTV News. Thank you for being with us, and goodbye for now.